Hey there. I'm testing a new portal device, which, if you don't know what those are, Facebook put out some quite a while ago. There are portals which are, in essence, Facebook's answer, or Meta, which if you'd like to call them that, answer to like Amazon Alexa, which is one over there, and or like Google Home and those sort of things. And they're actually kind of getting out of the device ecosystem for things like smart home devices. And they've been um, the last month and a half or so, they ran like a um, for nonprofits a ability to be able to get a certain amount of free portal devices for programs or whatever your nonprofit was going to need it for, teleconferencing, meeting between boards or other staff or things like that. And I got a bunch I got a few for Avicon, and I'm just testing them out. So there is the ability there's apps on these things on Portal if you've never used one, and there's the ability to be able to besides like some are standalone apps and some of are like web-based apps, and there's the ability to kind of connect and pair with various sites. There is a YouTube web app, and if you, instead of viewing it through the mobile view, if you go into settings and ask to view it through the regular desktop way, you can go live just like you would normally. So that's kind of cool. This is the camera that is actually built into the portal that is coming in. I probably have a lot of background noise because there's an air purifier running on high in here. But gives you an example. For me, the screen quality is pretty clear. It's a nice actual screen. This is a 14-inch screen. It tilts. You can see my lovely ceiling fan up there and tilts down. And and I think it will follow, yes, it will do some automatic following. That's interesting. So if I kind of move over here, it might, and it might adjust and back me up. Yes, okay, good. So that's kind of, I think, one of the unique things is if, say, you were at a meeting table and I was like, okay, let me go get something over here, it would adjust to there. There you go. And keep the person in frame. So if I come over here, it will try, this particular one, and I've seen some that can do a good side to side, and maybe, but it seems to be able to zoom in and out, at least automatically. So that's interesting. And it basically looks like almost like a, this is a Portal Plus, the 14-inch Portal Plus, which I don't think I have the box, or maybe I do. Yes, I have the outside of the box here. Funny that. So Facebook Portal Plus, see, look at that. It's gonna like really zoom in it, looking for faces, I bet. It's probably going right for the faces. Okay, which that's very funny. And this gives you an idea of what it looks like. You can really kind of see in here. And let me, what it sort of looks like. So the overall shape of it, up here there's a camera, and there's a little privacy shield that you can move, and you can also turn off audio and the mic at the camera by a button on the top. And then this whole bottom base is kind of oval, and it's like a big cylinder, an oval cylinder, and is a speaker. So I have not played any music on it yet, but it looks to be a pretty beefy speaker, certainly bigger or anything more than like the Alexa there. Or oh, there she is. Want me to play? Look at that. It's funny. And actually, I saw this one light up too. So funny in a good way. Yes, I can have my my smart devices talking to each other. That'll be fun. And I know the portal has been out for a while, but ultimately, I'm trying to use this for a resource for various folks that are part of Avicon, the nonprofit that I run, and also some of the people that are in some of the programs that we have, like the Nonprofit Commons and some of the board and folks there, maybe some of the Open Simulated Community Conference organizers. There may be some other ways. But unless they extend it, which one never knows, but TechSoup.org was the facilitator for Microsoft for these donations, these hardware donations, and my other computer is like right behind me. So when I stopped talking or interacting with it, the light went down, which is kind of lighting me. But TechSoup was the one facilitating the donation, and that ended. The ability to be able to request the devices ended on December 23rd. Sorry, 23rd. So I'm not sure if they'll extend any of that. I mean, right now TechSoup is on holiday, I think at least till the beginning of the year. So you never know. Maybe there'll be a second wave if you're in a nonprofit and interested in these things. Otherwise, I don't know, exploring. I'll look at the quality of this myself once I'm done with the stream. But it's still pretty neat to know that just through going into settings and changing it from mobile display to regular desktop, that I can go live and using its built-in sort of way to do this. So pretty, quick way that if you were just doing a desktop or just a camera feed discussion chat kind of thing, and you wanted to, I imagine too, it might be useful in a small setting if you had this position somewhere. I'm going to pick it up for a second. If you had it positioned somewhere and wanted to use it as just don't pay attention to the mess down there. If you wanted to use it as like a camera at maybe in an event, I mean, although you wouldn't be able to have this on a tripod or anything, but maybe in a situation where there was somebody sitting on a panel or at a table or that kind of thing, where the audience might be beyond it, but you could have this angled at people to be able to see it. Or if you were broadcasting, say, a board meeting or some other informational meeting where maybe people could be at that, attend virtually. So interesting to think about the possibilities of this. So I know it's an old tool, relatively. Zip it out for a while, but I was never going to put down. My ecosystem of smart devices is mostly Alexa, and that ecosystem are tied to that. So I wasn't going to really kind of put down funds for getting one of these. The neat thing too is that 14-inch screen that you saw the picture there of this. It's also a touch screen, which is kind of nice. And I think they're mostly, they're made for either on the personal home side of things to be able to stay connected with friends and relatives pretty easily. But there are also some applications, like it does connect to Zoom and GoToMeeting and WebEx and Microsoft Teams and all that sort of stuff to be able to do video conferencing. So for that, on a business sense, and also, of course, Facebook workplaces. It allows you to be able to have a dedicated conferencing machine if you had one in your office per se and wanted to connect with other staff, which is sort of a bit what we're going to probably use it for in between things. And and the other interesting thing that I think will be useful for our needs is through a side app, there's the ability to be able to use this as a second screen. So if you were on your laptop and wanted another secondary monitor to be able to kind of put things to, again, it's 14 inches, so it's like laptop, small laptop size screen and a pretty good resolution. I'm not sure what its native resolution is. I'd have to look at that. I wonder if it says on the box. Ooh. I don't know. Does it say it? Well, it says HD, but and yes, of course, it connects to Messenger and WhatsApp and all those kind of Facebook related properties or Meta. But I would love to see it connect, and I'd love to see it connect with workrooms, especially doing work that's in VR spaces and virtual worlds and things. If you've not got a chance to play with the workrooms, there's the ability to be able to kind of come in through Avatar if you were using Oculus Quest, which I have one out that way on my desk, my shelf over there. and I do use it for some project meetings. But there's the ability to also have those be kind of hybrid, where some people can come in through the Oculus Quest. Some folks can come in just through a regular, desktop video like you would in Zoom, and have a mixed sort of scenario where those immersed would see the person up on a screen inside their virtual meeting room, though they were in as an avatar, and those coming in through just the web video thing would sort of be able to like almost have like a window into the conference room and see all the avatars sitting at the table, and be like almost at one head of the table to be able to see like the whiteboard too, just like everybody else could in the virtual room, and any shared screens and things like that. So, but it doesn't, at least from my brief explorations and just setting this up, it doesn't seem like Workrooms is part of this. Or maybe, I bet you could certainly access it through the web part, but it'd be neat to sort of see. With this, they are trying to really push the whole like design for privacy inside and out, which I don't think any smart device really is, and then never mind. We can all kind of debate about Facebook/Meta. But there is an ability to be able to slide and shut the camera off, and press down at the top little thing there and be able to turn off and on the mic as well. So you can completely just leave it off, both the camera and the mic, and only turn it on when you need to. I also think this would be an interesting, and you can have multiple profiles set up for Portal, and it could be an interesting like shared device in a little, a shared conferencey room space, or more appropriately, what they're probably thinking of is in a family situation where people would be able to kind of pop into their profile, chat with their friends, have their, what they have as their shortcuts up. But I definitely see this as kind of a singular in some public space, in some sort of public space of your house shared by a family, and pulling up recipes, listening to Spotify or music in some other way, playing videos. You can do that. There is an app in here too for Twitch, so I will play with that too at some point. I imagine, although I think it's another web app similarly to YouTube, so I might have to trigger the view this as not the mobile, which seems to be like much more of a passive, not being able to have all the UI to be able to do things like you might want to do. This would be interesting to sort of, okay, can I go through Twitch and do Twitch live? Again, though, talking head it's not quite as exciting in the Twitch space. It's okay a little bit here in YouTube, but maybe not so much in Twitch. And then there was also Vimeo. That's an app native for it. So that's another kind of, could be interesting for a content creator to play with. And I do have access, I should say, through this, once I kind of change it to the web view versus mobile view, I have the access to also, though I don't necessarily know that I'm getting used to what the file structure is, and if there's a way to say create a video and save it locally on the device itself. But I do have access in YouTube here to be just all the normal things you might, so I can go into my YouTube Studio, and presumably I could upload videos if there is a way on the file size, on the device side, to save videos. You certainly could create them, presumably, since we have a camera here. I know you can take photos. There is a photo app, so you can kind of take photos, and they seem to go up to your Facebook as a photo in your albums. Like, it makes a new album, sort of like any other kind of connected device might, for or app that would allow you to take photos and pair them with Facebook. So I took a sample photo, threw it to Facebook, and sort of see what it was like. But yeah, interesting. Again, certainly not earth-shatteringly cutting edge, but nice of Meta to be able to, of course, while phasing out, getting out of the hardware space, to be able to like donate some of these devices to nonprofits to use. So we shall see. I will play around more, and I will maybe share more. All right. Bye. I know nobody's actually watching right now, but maybe later on somebody might see this. So, okay. Till then, bye. figure out how myself, end stream right at the bottom. There we go. Oh, you also would be able to manage, I should say, when you're in the go live scenario. Normally I stream live from OBS on my desktop, right? Where I could, grab screen captures, grab camera feeds, those kind of things. So I had to kind of switch over to the simplified, just go live with Facebook's unique things. But although, it's not like I could run OBS on this, but you can still access that, that back end of the more complicated streaming. So it certainly would probably allow you to be able to set up streams and that kind of thing, but you wouldn't, if you're going to do an RTMP stream from OBS, but you wouldn't really be, as far as I know, be able to do OBS like here on this device. There may be some hack way to add in apps that are not part of their ecosystem. But I think that's asking a little much, probably. But so yes, you can play with that. You can go into all your videos as well in the back end through Studio, and you would have access to be able to do all the same things that you would be able to. So besides whether or not you can easily upload, because where the file's stored on Portal and how you get access to them, you still would be able to go into your videos, do the simple kind of cut edits, change your descriptions and your titles and tags, and push things live and stuff like that. So that's certainly interesting. Even if it's just an extra device sitting on your desk, to sort of save all these things, or like I said, in conjunction. I'm going to try and test out these screen sharing, probably with one of the Mac laptops. And see, I'll try my desktop too, and see how that works. And that's probably also another way that you would have another device. And although I do not know if it's just going through app, it's probably just simply sharing it as, just putting the feed to it. You probably would not be able to access, though there is a USB-C on the back of this device. So we'll see. Maybe there's a way that it would be able to recognize the device and be able to pull this camera from your, as a possible feed, as a camera that you could share. And then it might have some other purposes to be able to have like a second camera feed that you could pull from, but I do not know that yet. So we shall see. But at the bare minimum, you would be able to have a continuation of your desktop or that kind of thing. So we'll see. We'll play. And yeah, thank you all for kind of, if you all is nobody at the moment, but thank you for like sparing with the test if you do kind of look at this later. Bye.